Hey guys, Justin here, and the topic I want to talk about today is how to get into a relationship with someone. So there's two ways you can go about trying to get into a relationship with someone. The first would be, if you're shy and awkward perhaps, is you can find someone else who's shy and awkward and then sort of make an agreement with them to be in a relationship with them, and that's fine. The second way would be to sort of learn how to become a cool person. So learning how to become cool is something that you don't have to do all the time. Some people get a little bit stuck in that, but it's something that you need to learn how to do so you can sub-communicate that you're a cool person. It's like learning how to fight. You don't learn how to fight so you can go out and just get into a fight with someone. You learn how to fight so you don't have to do that. If someone is sort of being confrontational with you and you know how to fight, you're going to stand there, you're going to be calm, grounded, you'll look them in the eyes, and without saying anything, you sort of tell them that you know how to fight and you're not scared of them. It's the same with learning how to become cool. If you know how to sort of be free and wild and a cool person, then you can sort of just stand there, be centered, grounded, look a girl in the eyes, and you can sub-communicate that you're a cool person, and then you can be your kind, sweet, vulnerable self, and you don't have to be cool all the time, even though it's something that you really have to learn, in my opinion. So what does being cool mean? Well, there's a few beliefs that someone who's cool are going to have that makes them carry themselves in a certain way. So you can look at this in maybe celebrities. So the first would be they don't care. They can take it or leave it at any point in the interaction. So in relationships, sometimes there's sort of weird power dynamic where the person who cares least in the relationship will have the power, and it sometimes turns into this sort of back and forth of not caring and caring. So you've got to learn first how to not care at all before you actually can dive in and care, because that's the bigger goal if you think about it. But you've got to learn first how to not care, if that makes sense. So the second one would be you have to feel entitled. So someone who's cool knows they're cool, and they don't have to sort of make a funny joke or say something smart or tell anyone about their accomplishments or something, because they've got that sort of self-assurance that they're a cool person, and they can sort of sub-communicate it that way. Now the third would be being high status. So status is a little silly in my opinion, but being high status is something that's a very attractive quality, and someone who's high status isn't going to be intimidated by anyone, and they've sort of got that aura of confidence to them as well, I guess. So you can sort of brainwash yourself to sort of have these attributes, or you can genuinely have these attributes. A lot of people sort of brainwash themselves by maybe going to like a bar or a nightclub, and they can sort of emulate not caring because there's a lot of people around, and they can sort of take it or leave it because they can move on to the next person. They can sort of emulate feeling entitled because they sort of tell themselves that they're out celebrating, and they can sort of emulate being high status by the way they sort of treat their friends and their friends treat them. So you can do that, or you can sort of genuinely have a life where your life is so good that you can take it or leave it with anyone and you don't really care because your life's so good. You can sort of genuinely sort of be entitled to a girl because you work on yourself really hard, or you can sort of genuinely be high status by working hard in your community. So it's more powerful if it's authentic. If you genuinely believe that someone is going to have a better life by you being in their life, that's the way that you're going to get into a quality relationship, because it's going to come from an authentic place. Okay, so that's great. Let's say you've gone out and you've sort of gotten into a relationship and you've worked on your self-development a little bit. Now, is that the ultimate goal? Well, it's not really, in my opinion, but it does have a lot of sort of benefits in regards to you learning about yourself. So when you're talking and you're engaging with someone, there's two things that's going to happen. Either you're going to feel better or you're going to feel worse. If you're talking with someone and you feel smaller and you feel weak when you talk, and your voice doesn't have that power behind it, it's probably because you're using someone else's ideas or beliefs or thoughts or something like that. So if you talk and you feel good inside, then you're sort of being expressive and expansive. It's probably because you're using your own ideas and your own thoughts. Even if they're good or bad, it doesn't really matter. It's you sort of just sharing, so you should feel better. So whenever I talk, I'm always sort of trying to think, how do I feel when I say this? Am I being authentic? Am I being genuine? Do I believe this? Is this me? Because one way of looking at it, if you're not using your own thoughts and your own ideas and beliefs, then are you even really a person? Now, I know that might sound weird, but if you're sort of just parroting what other people are saying, you're more sort of just a sponge of your environment, and you're not sort of genuinely being a person. So postmodernists would say that most communication is not actually trying to find out about the ultimate truth of the universe. It's more sort of a power play that people are using with each other. So if you come from the perspective of you're trying to be authentic, if you say something and you feel good when you say it, that is the truth, because you feel good when you say it, and one way of looking at it is feelings are the only truth. So you got to prioritize how you feel than how the other person feels, because if you feel good, it's going to transfer on to them anyway. So you've got to sort of always sort of think about how you're feeling. So when you go on this journey and you engage with people, it's going to be a lot more fulfilling. You're going to learn more about yourself, and it's going to be a cool journey that you go on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Catch you guys next time.